Hey, it's Rick Khan, and if you're ready to scale your winning ads, then I'm going to show you how to scale your Facebook ad campaign in 2022 without losing your return on ad spend. You see, if you found a winning campaign where you're getting good click-through rates, you're getting high return on ad spend, and you want to accelerate that growth, then you need to know these two methods that I've been using so you can replicate this when you scale your ads. Now, something you need to know, because did you know scaling is about getting more results from something that is already working? So let's say you have a winning offer and a winning ad that's staying pretty consistent. Then it's time to take what's working and start scaling it. But at the same time, what's important here to know is that if you get this wrong, you could potentially ruin your ad results even when you try to scale it back. So really, you have to be careful in the way you scale. Now, if you want to just jump straight to the methods of scaling, you can skip this bit on the timestamps below. But knowing these two things first will be very important before you do anything when you touch your ads. You see, firstly, is when you scale, you want to make sure that you continue to scale with new messages and creatives. Because think about this for a minute. The more you up your budget, the faster you're going to start burning through your audiences. And having a creative strategy is very important to have. So you always want to prepare for any ad fatigue. Then is to make sure you always know your numbers. Now, this is probably going to be the make or break of your advertising. Your numbers are the KPIs that will help make and drive your advertising decisions. Without these numbers, you're not going to know when to scale and when to do it correctly. So one thing about me is that I like to keep it all simple. You don't need to know silly numbers such as your impressions, your click-through rates, link clicks, and so on. Just know these three numbers only that applies to your outcome. How much does it cost to get a lead, your CPL? How much does it cost to acquire your customer, your CPA? And what's your average order value across all of your products? So when you know these numbers, then you need to know which of these numbers are going to drive your Facebook results. Is it a lead you're after? If so, how much are you willing to spend? Is it to get a sale from your Facebook ads or even from your one-time offer page? If so, how much do you need to spend? Or how much on average does your customer spend across all the different products? But when you have this down, then it's time to scale. So let's get into each method of how you should scale your Facebook ads, which starts with the most common type of scale that you probably see lots of other marketers use. Is called the vertical scale. Now, all you're really doing here is just slowly increasing your budgets. If you find you're good to go with a winning campaign, you can scale that budget by 20% or 50% every 5 or 7 days. But here's the thing. If you're running really low budgets, that's less than $50 a day, then I'd have no problem doubling that figure since it's very low. However, let's look at an example of what this would all look like. So let's say your product costs $50, so that means for every $50 you should get a customer. And let's say you have a daily budget of $100. Now, in this example, let's say after running your ads for at least 7 days, you get results at $25, meaning that it's costing you $25 to acquire a customer. So basically, you're in profit at this point with around 4 sales. But usually the truth with Facebook ads, this will be short-lived and it will increase your price. But let's say you want to now scale this ad $100 daily budget, so you would increase the budget from $100 just to $200. Now, I know I said do a 20% or 50% increase, but $100 is still a pretty small budget. It's not really going to make a huge difference to the algorithm. But after 5 to 7 days, your results go up to, let's say, $30 to now acquire a customer. This is normal when scaling to see your costs increase. But don't focus on trying to make a profit at this point. The real goal is just to break even. You should already have a strong funnel with a follow-up sequence. But let's say you start doing the 50% increases from $200 to $300 and your result goes to $35. Still, again, this is very good because your customer is worth $50. So again, you scale 50% from $300 to $450 and your result goes to $40. Then again, $450 to $675. Now let's say you're breaking even at $50. Now let's say you increase to $1,000 a daily budget and your cost per result goes to $58. Now, for some people making a loss, it's not much of a big problem because they make it all back up from additional offers and having a very strong back-end process. And most just focus on getting as many customers or leads through the door. But what you can do here is just scale it back down by 20%. So this would take you to $800, and let's say your cost per result now goes down to $50, which is the break-even point. Now this method is definitely straightforward. All you have to do is just keep increasing your budget by around 20 to 50% and monitor the results over 5 to 7 days. Now the next method of scaling, which is interest scaling. This is about taking what's working and showing it to more people. You do this by taking your winning ad sets or campaigns and targeting new audiences. Now this will open you up to new targeting options to reach to a larger audience, where you can take lookalike audiences and new interests in the duplicated campaigns. But here's the thing, what I like about this method is that you can keep the original campaign intact. And if something doesn't work when duplicating, you can always just switch it off without messing up the whole original campaign. And here's the thing, when you duplicate, you can also start with a higher budget. So if your original campaign was at $50, you can duplicate the next with $100, $150, or even $300 and so on. So how I do all this is just by taking the winning campaign and duplicate at the campaign level, delete all ad sets that didn't work, then change the interest or audience within the targeting. And then you can start the campaign. And from there, all you need to do now is manage and monitor it. And then from that again, do the vertical scale if it does well. Now, a couple of bonus tips that I want to share with you when you scale, because the truth is, scaling will fluctuate. You're going to get good days and you're going to get bad days. Now, you may also not see purchases for an entire week, and this can scare some people. But this is actually quite normal because all of a sudden you might get most of your purchases or leads on certain days. And this is happening because of spending habits from consumers, and things like seasons also affect this. And the next tip is, don't focus on making profit on the front end, and don't focus too much effort on trying to get the price down on your ad spend. The truth is, as more advertisers use the platform, it's going to cost you more. And that's the way it's going to basically be. Your focus should be on your offers, your upsells and back-end offers. And having the wrong mindset in trying to make profit on the front end is the wrong approach and can even stop people from the opportunity of using Facebook ads the right way. All you need to do is try and keep your ad spend at the break even. Now, if you got value from this video, please make sure to consider to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, if you have any questions, drop a comment below and I'll answer them best I can. But also, when you're ready to scale your ads with the best audiences, make sure to check out this video that teaches you to put your ads in front of your competitor's audience. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.